Well, thanks for clicking on my video. If you're new to my videos, I have a lot more coming up. I've been on kind of hiatus because I basically have another channel. It's called Metalheart8787. I'll put the comment below under that name if you like heavy metal. Check that channel out. If you're not into heavy metal, then I guess don't. But anyways, today I'm going to be talking about what is Japanese and weeaboo and all that other stuff. I see it all the time continuously when I'm online or when I'm searching and looking through the YouTube comments. There's nothing more annoying seeing that, because then there's a lot of people who just still have these misconceptions about Japan and misconceptions about just everything else. Most of the people who are watching it are watching a Japanese related video, and then they'll comment on the weeaboos or Japanese and what the heck have you. And it's annoying because it's like, well, you're watching a Japanese video too. You must have some kind of interest in Japan too. Then why the hell are you friggin' watching a channel then? Or this video? So there's nothing wrong with loving Japan and liking Japan, admiring it. I have for many years. The whole, everybody knows the famous things: Godzilla, Pikachu, Nihonshu, sake, which is sake, and Godzilla, and of course all the anime stuff and everything, which I'm not into and everything. I am not into any of that. I'm into all the other stuff, and I got into it 3 years ago through watching Godzilla movies, then liking the band Loudness, and then meeting a Japanese trade student back in 1991. So it was way before that where I took an interest in Japan and was learning Japanese language. For many years I stopped. You'll see some of my Japanese language videos up. Anyways, there is a lot of other cool things about Japan. It's just annoying when people say that. These people are friendly and kind and everything. And what probably irritates the heck out of some people is that they have, even though some people brainlessly compare America to Japan all the time, there's a lot of the stars and stripes within Japanese culture and stuff anyways too that probably bugs them, but who the hell cares? Tough crap if you don't like that. The Japanese people are kind and friendly. More so loving than the Chinese and South Koreans. Not that there's not good Chinese or South Koreans out there, but the Japanese are more open. One of the main things is after World War II, they know that. They think properly, they think intelligently. They're like, okay, that was years ago. They're not going to mention the two things, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and the bombs that a lot of other people do. They've forgotten about that. They were ashamed of their past, about like what happened and everything. And they know that every single American person that's coming over there was born way after 1945 and had nothing to do with that. Just like with the Japanese that come over to America, they deserve our respect too, because you can't associate these Japanese people with Pearl Harbor. It's common sense. They kind of know that. This was done way before they were born. It was their government. They had no idea about it. Okay, so I'll get into the whole America and Japan during World War II in another specific video. In Japan, I've always dreamed and wanted to go to Japan, and I started studying again in 2000. And between 2000 and 2008, I studied Japanese all the time, and as much as I can. I know a good amount of Japanese, not really specifically fluent, but I know a good amount. And I've always wanted to move there, and I studied the aspects of the culture, everything, the food, the Sengoku period, the samurai period, and listened to the J-pop stuff that was out at the time, early 2000s, and even 80s stuff. Of course, thanks to YouTube videos and stuff like that, I was watching a lot of the older stuff that I missed and everything. So that's really good. But then, of course, there's just one tough pill to swallow, and that is that no foreigners allowed in Japan. Well, the Texas Daddy got it wrong. If you know who Texas Daddy is, he was this YouTuber from back in the day, early 2000s. I don't know if the guy's still around anymore. He wrote a book and everything. And he'd be saying, oh, the Japanese don't want some American military men were fighting in a bar one time, and they kicked them out, and that's when they decided to put the no foreigners sign up. That is not true. That happened in the 50s or 60s, and it hasn't been until recent years, many years later, where they started doing the no foreigner sign, from what I've read and stuff, from what I've seen. So the no foreigner sign applies to everybody. Australians, British, Americans, white people, and they don't want people from India, China, or Korea in there at all either. Especially then, because then there's some Asians who have been known to be spies and stuff. So they don't allow or want any foreigners in there whatsoever. Now, of course, once again, I guess that's bad that they do that. And I would, my heart sunk when I first saw that. But I was just like, okay, well, that's them. It's just specific businesses. There's no law specifically against discrimination over there. The only thing that bugs me, if there were several places like that in America, people would be going nuts and screaming xenophobic and racist and everything else. I had a no foreigner sign in some restaurants here, and if I meant no foreigners, that would be including French, German, and whatever the heck else, even the white European foreigners. And in closing, too many people are always comparing America to Japan, and then of course the Japanese when they, and your weeaboos and all this other stuff. It's really quite annoying. But I just wanted to express my feelings on that, towards that. And if you see those and you're kind of irritated by it too, just ignore those dummies, because these people are just jumping online and they haven't really studied specific history. They haven't either read a book or really have met or talked to any other Japanese person. So, and even the people that do like Japan and are the weeaboos and Japanese, what the heck ever, also are loving it for the wrong reasons. And they're kind of just blinded by that. And they're the ones that are comparing it to America too. It's a little bit of both. It's just really freaking annoying how people do that. But anyways, that's all I've got on that subject. Japan is a great country. It's not perfect. America's not perfect. I know, don't bother typing that in the comments. I know America's not perfect. No country is. But the better we understand each other and get along, and people should understand that there's good and bad people and good and bad things in every single country, it's going to make the world a better place. So in closing, I'd like to also announce, I don't know why I'm announcing, is I don't have shit for subscribers or anything, but I'm announcing here that I'm going to be doing more of an international channel too. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff. I have my flags, my flag collection video, which did good on my other channel. I have to make a part 2 of that, and I'm going to be talking about a lot of other just European stuff and European culture. And I'm not specifically shifting away from Japanese. There's so many Japanese channels up. And then of course I have 2 channels going myself, and I know that channels primarily have to focus on one theme. So with one theme, that's good and understandable, but I can't have a guitar channel, a heavy metal channel, a puzzle channel, a languages channel, a Japanese channel, and then a flags and international channel. I'd have 7 or 8 channels, so I simply don't have enough time for that. But anyways, I'm going to be going international and exploring a lot more of the stuff in both countries. I grew up with that stuff, and I liked it, and I always have. Thanks for watching.